Now we come to the next sutta, 2.4.1. The Buddha said, "Monks, I will teach you the condition of the unworthy and that of the worthy. Do you listen to it? Attend closely and I will speak." "Yes, Lord," replied these monks to the Exalted One. The Exalted One said, "Monks, the unworthy man is ungrateful, forgetful of benefits. This ingratitude, this forgetfulness is congenial to mean people. It is altogether a feature of unworthy people, this ingratitude and forgetfulness of benefits. But monks, the worthy person is grateful and mindful of benefits done to him. This gratitude, this mindfulness is congenial to the best people. It is altogether a feature of the best people, this gratitude and mindfulness of benefits." That's the end of the sutta. This sutta is telling us that we should be grateful to those people who have benefited us, especially our parents, our elders, our teachers, monks who have taught us, etc. And we should know that a person who is ungrateful, according to the Buddha, is a mean person. Especially people like our parents, whom we owe a lot. And we can see this in the next sutta. The next sutta, 2.4.2, the Buddha said, "Monks, one can never repay two persons, I declare." "What two?" "Mother and father. Even if one should carry about his mother on one shoulder and his father on the other, and so doing should live 100 years, attain 100 years, and if he should support them, anointing them with unguents, that is fragrant oil or something, kneading, bathing and rubbing their limbs, and they meanwhile should even void their excrements upon him, even so could he not repay his parents. Moreover, monks, if he should establish his parents in supreme authority, in the absolute rule over this mighty earth, abounding in the 7 treasures, not even thus could he repay his parents. What is the cause of that? Monks, parents do much for their children. They bring them up, they nourish them, they introduce them to this world. Moreover, monks, whoso incites his unbelieving parents, settles and establishes them in the faith. Whoso incites his immoral parents, settles and establishes them in morality. Whoso incites his stingy parents, settles and establishes them in liberality. Whoso incites his foolish parents, settles and establishes them in wisdom. Such a one, just by so doing, does more than repay what is due to his parents. That's the end of the sutta. So here the Buddha is saying that if we should take care of our parents for 100 years, taking good care of them, bathing and massaging them, etc., carrying them about on your shoulder, even for 100 years, you still cannot pay back the debt of the parents, owed to your parents, because when we are young, if all of us try to recall, we know on many occasions when we were young and helpless, when we were sick, many a times we could have passed away if not for the great care that our parents showered on us, especially our mother. All of us, we know that the mother usually takes more care of the children personally than the father. That's why in the Indian tradition they always talk about Mata Pitu, mother first, mother, father. Whereas in the Chinese tradition we always say father first and then mother. And so you see, even if we were to take good care of our parents until they died, it's difficult to repay their kindness. So you can think of a person who is not filial to his parents, somebody who does not take care of the parents, and after the parent has passed away, I've seen for myself somebody who was not very filial to the parent, and after the parent passed away, the remorse, is very great, on that person, because the feeling that you have not done what you should have done to somebody whom you owe so much, it weighs down heavily on your conscience. And the last part, the Buddha said, if we want to repay our parents, there are 4 ways where we can repay them, and repay them fully and even more than what is due. One is, if they do not have faith in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, you bring them to listen to the teachings of the Buddha, or you lend them tapes to listen, etc., and so that they have faith in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Then you have there's one way you have repaid your parents. The second one, if they do not know how to keep the precepts, they don't know about Sila, you teach them to keep the 5 precepts. That's another way you repay them, so that they are established in Sila. The third way is, if they are stingy, they don't know how to do dana, offerings, then you teach them to like to do charity, to be generous. That's the third way. The fourth one, if they do not have wisdom, and you teach them the Dhamma, or you get them to listen to cassettes, etc., of the Buddha's teachings, so that they understand, and then their wisdom grows. These are the 4 ways that any one of them, or all of them, we can use to pay our parents' kindness. Why are these 4 ways important? Because you bring the parents into the right path. By having any one of these 4, if they are well established in any one of these 4 things, faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, keeping the Sila precepts. Third one, being generous, liking to do dana, offerings, and the fourth one is having wisdom. Then at least they would not fall into the woeful plains in the next life. And if they are well established, especially like in wisdom, they might never ever fall into the woeful plains again, and slowly get out of samsara.